Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
How are you, Coach?
I'm doing great. I had a little bit of a late morning going here. My wife was leaving for work a little bit earlier than normal, and I was kind of running around chasing her, making sure she got everything she needs for the day.
I
Uh,
got
you know, just an old couple getting ready for the day. I was running late, kind
yeah,
of thrown off this week because here we are, on Friday, and we were going to be a Monday show, but Monday you guys were getting beat up by
yeah.
the
Monday
weather.
we had thunderstorms Monday, and my internet was in and out, and it just was crazy for sure.
Yeah, we're getting the rain today. We're in the desert when you get rain. Well, this time of season, it's called the monsoon season. That's what we have. We have monsoons. They come in like usually in the evening, but you can happen pretty much any part of the day, and we're pretty much getting ready. We're one of two places in the entire world that experience something called a haboob. It's just a dust, like a wall of dust that comes
Right.
across. Looks like a tidal wave of dirt coming at you,
Yeah.
and it's an amazing sight. But it's only here and like somewhere in the Middle East, where the only two places in the world where that happens.
I got you.
And so we experienced that last night and this morning, kind of the remnants of that, and that's where because the monsoon gene comes from Arizona. Dave Green was the gentleman who first produced the monsoon, and that's where he got the name for it.
Okay. We have monsoons in Florida year round.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, I got you. But I
Are,
think y'all call them hurricanes. I think it's more
yeah,
more.
yeah. It actually starts around June, and seems like it's going. The season's going a little later. We've had them up in November, so we'll see how it goes this year. Are you getting any of this smoke effect from Canada?
No, not really. I think we're too far south, really. We're bordering Mexico down here, boy. We
Yeah,
we're on the front lines of the whole immigration thing is real big here, but
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tell you what, it's not a problem. I'll tell you what, those folks come over here and work their tails off and do jobs that
No one else wants to do.
nobody else wants to do. You come around here in the working in the yards, roofs. I mean, it's 115, man. You don't want to be on a roof.
I know
Yeah.
when we have hurricanes, we'll have several of them infiltrate the area,
Uh-huh.
and like I said, they'll be on the roof. I don't care how hot it is, working their butts off and
Oh
getting
my.
it done.
And that's the whole thing. It's like we get very strong on immigration, and now all of a sudden, you wonder why we have some of this inflation that we do, right? It's like, well, you can't find anybody to work the farms and whatnot to harvest the stuff because nobody else wants to do that, and if they do, it's they want a paycheck that drives up the cost of everything. So
Yeah, I got a shout out to my some of my folks today. Got this hat from Markham Reptiles yesterday.
I like his channel. I want to do what he does on his channel. I'm trying to schedule a couple of visits, with other reptile people in the area. I think what
Yeah,
Markham's doing is that's the way to do a channel
yeah,
because he does his thing, but he also highlights and shows other breeders and gives other people a chance to stand on a stage, and I applaud him for that. So I
and
I think he's a great guy.
he is. I've got a Papaw carpet python from him, and you
Yeah,
know
I want to.
if you get something from him, he's going to make a video of it and give you a shout out and follow up with you, see how it's doing. I mean, he's a really good guy. He's been a great help to me.
I think I want a white lip python. I
Me
have a
too.
white. I got I made a super cine and I call it my white lip python.
Yeah,
And but I'd really like one, but I don't want the southern. The southern is the black one. I believe I could
yeah,
have it backwards.
yeah. The southern
I
one's a
want
black one, and it gets bigger.
I like the ones that.
the gold one.
Ones, yeah. Oh my God, that is so pretty.
I also got this shirt this week from Sammy the Bull.
Sammy the Bull, another good guy in the hobby.
Yeah, definitely so. I
He,
got some of his stuff here too.
see, and
I've
that's
got
what I always. You
I've got
got stuff from him? Go ahead.
I've got a Spider Fire Orange Dream Inchy Desert Ghost Het Clown Girl for
Nice.
Sammy, and I
You
got
might
a
as well just list the gene that snake doesn't have, and then you probably
yeah
have a
yeah.
shorter list.
I bred her to a Clown DG, and I had her pre-lay shed. She had her pre-lay shed last week, so we should get some eggs from her really soon. And
Yeah, I think the double recessives with clown. Hypo's my favorite, but
yeah,
DG's right there because I think DG is really a form of hypomelanism. I just think it's a
works different. Yeah,
but it's you can tell when you look at an adult desert ghost that it's like okay this is it's kind of hypo looking. But those are my two favorite double recessive visuals with clown. Um, is hypo clown and DG clown.
definitely so. Uh, my eggs look like one of them's fixing to pip right now. So later today or maybe tomorrow we'll have egg cutting going on.
Yeah, that's awesome. Boy, there's no feeling there. I'm telling you,
I've
I've
hatched.
had I've had children. I've been married. I've had all those you know euphoric feelings that a human normally has. But if you've never hatched a clutch of python eggs, man, that is a kick in the pants.
I've hatched two this year so far. Unfortunately, they were for somebody else.
Just hatching them is so great to see them, life come out of something you kept in a, I incubate all mine. So
Yeah, me too. The
some of
one
these people,
I've got hatchlings still in the incubator. They hatched about a week ago.
right?
They
That's
three or four of them had shed yesterday. I picked the one I'm keeping out of it because they owe me one for doing it. And the pairing on it was pretty simple. It was just supposed to be a pastel het clown to a leopard blade clown. I doubt that the mother was het clown because there were 9 eggs and none of them were clown.
but you could have just missed. I mean,
You
I
could have,
would do one more before I
yeah,
said she wasn't het because you can just miss because everybody thinks it's 50%. I got 9 eggs. I should have 4 or 5 clowns. Problem is, it's 50%
per egg.
every egg per
Yeah,
egg. So you're flipping a corner every egg each time. So
yeah.
those eggs don't care that you have 9 babies and you didn't get 4 clowns. It's just going by what was flipped for that egg. So
The the one I
I
picked.
always give heads a second chance before I say, okay, it's not head.
Now I do believe that Inchy was in the pairing looking at them,
Uh-huh.
and Inky Tommy Gill at Inky Cloud looked at them as well, and she's positive it has Inchy in the pairing as well. I haven't seen the mother myself. I have seen the father, and I know he's what he is. The mother, I really don't know because I've never seen her. They just delivered the eggs to me.
All right.
Uh, but the one I've kept has been a uh, looks black pastel to me, but it's got some really weird markings on it to me.
Uh-huh.
So I picked out the weird one and go with that.
But that's always what I do too. The ones that look like, okay, and I'm holding back one from my first clutch, and it may just be something that happens when you do pewters, but I've seen a lot of pewters, and I don't see a lot of pewters that just like half the body, the pattern just gone.
Yeah,
And the first time I saw that was with the mother of this clutch. And so, you say, all right, maybe it's just, something that happened this one time. Oh, she produced one. So now I'm like, okay, there's got to be something to it. And so we just keep working it. And you can't really go out and say, I've got something that's different or something that's new or this is, you got to do the work first. I mean,
yeah.
I've done one pairing. I mean, that's not the work. That hasn't proven anything. I've got
Right.
to reproduce it from her again, and maybe reproduce it from the one
The
I
baby.
produced from her.
Yeah. From what I've seen and watching Friends, like the guys from FNA and
Uh-huh.
Val and things like that, they've worked these genes for years before they say anything about it.
Right.
And got them in all like Val, the misfit, he's got it, and probably 20 different morphs at least
Yeah.
that
When
I've
I
seen.
when I suspected that Enchi and Cinnamon were allelic, I didn't go like the first clutch that I thought, oh, this is kind of weird. This is looking kind of strange. The second clutch I did was the 9 eggs, and they were all cinnamons. That was the second clutch out of 5. So from that same male, and then when you're looking at a male that's, at that point we were thinking it's a 2 gene animal. It
Yeah,
should it should produce normals. It should produce cinnamon enchies. And
right.
after 5 clutches, I hadn't gotten a cinnamon enchie. I hadn't gotten a wild type or classic ball python. And after 5 clutches, I finally said, I think they're allelic. I didn't say they are allelic,
Yeah,
but I said I think. And the rest of the community told me that they didn't think so. So, and they didn't do it very nicely. But it was great because then 3 weeks later on Justin Kabelka's channel, he announces that if you didn't know, cinnamon and enchi are allelic. And I was like, thank you. Thank
yeah.
you. And all those people, and I never went back to some of those people. Some of those people were friends of mine on Facebook. I never went back to them and said, you treated me
That's
like a
you know,
jerk. I just said,
I've
I'm
got
not going to talk to that guy anymore.
I've got some of that feedback too. Like, I like Scrambler and I'm big on it, and people, that's not real. You can't reproduce it. Well, people are reproducing every damn where.
Right.
It's something.
Right. So here's the thing, right? It's like people in this hobby, and I always tell people I've been in this hobby 13 years. And let me tell you, this hobby has improved, and I say improved because it's gotten better. The
Yeah,
people in it have gotten better. It's gotten nicer. It's gotten more um, forgiving, and it's also gotten a little bit more. People are willing to listen to your, a
as
little
a
bit
whole,
more
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
instead of just everything. I mean, when I first got into this, it was bad. It was really bad. I mean,
That's what I
people
hear.
were horrible to one another.
That's what I hear from some of the OG folks. That it used to be very tight-lipped, not sharing anything, don't want you joining in, don't want you helping, don't want to talk to you or nothing else about it. So it's definitely a lot better because 99.9% of the people that I've come in contact have just been superb.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. The difference in the hobby is the people in the hobby, for the most part, are better people. I mean, scams when I first got in this, the first 6 years I was in this, scams were commonplace. People
Yeah,
getting scammed. That was just like you would see it on Facebook and be like, yeah, what else to do?
yeah.
You didn't look at Facebook a couple of times or do a search for that breeder, and you would have come all this garbage would have all come up for you.
Well,
I
we're
always
going to,
tell people do your research not only about getting in the hobby, but when you're going to buy from somebody, do your research on that person too, because their social media. I buy from people that I like. I buy from people that are good to other people. And if I'm gonna support
hi,
their
hi, hi.
breedings, and what they're doing. They got to be a stellar person in the community. I think I'm
I
not
know.
supporting people that aren't. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Hey, Nick, your mic's not on if you know that or not.
When you come in, you're muted.
I'm trying to make it to where y'all can hear me. I'm taking my phone case off.
There you go.
You're good now. Well, I'm going to go ahead and shout out some of the folks in the comments and get that done. We got Mr. All City Serpents. We got James over there. Appreciate you, brother. R Yoda. That's some of our folks from TikTok. They're really active. They're getting ready to have a competition where basically two groups of two people show snakes and they go like head to head, which one they like the best. And I've been appointed a judge, so that's going to be very fun.
That sounds fun.
Oh, shit, this is a lot, isn't it?
That's different. I like that idea.
And we got CW. How you doing, brother? Got another RD gang here. Yoda, Super Saiyan. Thank you for tuning in, brother, and coming by. I think everybody knows this guy here, Josh, having a ball pythons. He's Val's partner. He said he was on Instagram watching and didn't wonder why nobody was talking to him. And Josh definitely says that they are a Lily coach.
Oh, they're a Lelik for sure.
He's one of the more. Josh is a very intelligent, informative young man. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he sounds like the type of guy that I usually ask questions of because, I'm old and I played football before they knew what concussions were. So I'm a little slow sometimes.
I got brain damage.
That's me too, brother. Me too.
We got John at Moforge. Appreciate you, brother.
That's awesome.
Y'all can hear me better now?
Oh, yes, sir.
Perfect.
Okay, I got my microphone now.
All right. We got John at Mission Morse. Thank you, buddy. And that's it. So we'll go ahead and get some commercial run through real quick, and then we'll get started on today's subject.
Let's do it.
Tired of the hassle and waiting? Cocoa to Go is ready to use right out of the bag. At BNS Reptilia, quality isn't a goal. It's the standard behind every animal they produce and every product they create. When you're ready to upgrade your enclosures, make sure you choose the substrate that's triple washed, low dust, and built to deliver moisture retention for serious reptile keepers' demands.
Looking to take your reptile game to the next level? Husbandry Pro is the all-in-one tool serious keepers and breeders trust. Track feeding, sheds, weight, breeding, and lineage, all in one place. Monitor your entire collection with ease, stay organized, and never miss a detail again. Whether you've got a few snakes or a full-scale operation, Husbandry Pro keeps your records dialed in and your animals thriving. And right now, you can try it. Free. Use code RIVENSFORGE. 60 and get 60 days free. That's Husbandry Pro, built for keepers by keepers.
And I'm about to get in trouble because I forgot somebody. So my wife is on with us, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, you better see that. I was going to say, Mister, you had better recognize that person in the chat, supporting you as always.
That's right. That's right.
God's lover. God's lover.
I got a little nervous that you wasn't on yet, so I reached out for Nick and said, hey, jump on with me.
I've been running around my whole, after Monday, it's like my whole week got flipped around, and I just was like, I had a meeting yesterday at 9 a.m. and the guy calls me and he's like, we're meeting today, right? And I was like, oh God. So I jump in the car and run over. I was helping. It's another football coach. I was helping with some special teams.
See now, Coach, I want to get my room like Nick's is right there. You see how he got it all set up, and he got these funky lights in there, and he got that Vision.us background back there. And if you need enclosures and things of any kind, any type, Vision.us is the way to go. And on the Husbandry Pro, the code is RivensForge60, or you can also use RWOHP60 for 60 free days.
I use Vision cages for some of my ball python females.
Yeah,
I used to have like 332s, Vision 3. Those are like 3 foot by 2 foot high. I started like hatchlings when I started hitting those 332 Visions. Now I use the 211s and the 221s, and I'm looking at their 70 series rack. It's like an 11 tub rack on wheels, and I just think it would work perfect for what I'm looking for. But I love Vision products. Also, I'd like to say before we move on,
okay,
we were talking about before how I was saying just before you ran the commercials how I do my research and I'm going to buy and support people that are good people in the hobby.
Right.
And then we ran a commercial for BNS Reptilia. I've already done the research on that guy, folks. You guys should support BNS Reptilia. That's one great gentleman in this hobby, and he's got something for everybody. If it's not a ball python, he does a bunch of other species,
Oh,
and
definitely.
I completely support Chris. I thank him for supporting us, and you couldn't find a better reptile breeder in this country than that gentleman out there in Florida. I wholeheartedly recommend BNS.
He's a cool guy, but
I
his
appreciate you.
substrate's a lot cooler.
Oh, yeah. And what substrate is that, Nick?
Well, you got the chipper and you got Cocoa to Go. You can get 2 different kinds. You can choose. I like the Cocoa to Go because it comes ready. I can just
Right.
open the box, open the bag, put it in a tub, boom, done.
I remember when I started using Cocoa. Everything on my collection's on paper now, but when I nobody was using Cocoa. I was trying to sell this stuff and trying to find the stuff was, I would be going to like hydroponic type stores and things
Yeah.
like that to try to find it.
Mhm.
Thank God it finally caught on because it was tough to find originally.
I used to use paper towels about a couple years ago, and then I stopped because I had people reaching out to me for substrate stuff and affiliate program and stuff like that. And I actually used to use a company called Gaps. I don't know if you've heard of Gaps, Cocoa or whatever, but they do it's like a hydroponic store essentially. They sell
Right.
like the clay balls and planting substrate. And then they
Gardening
realized,
stuff.
then they realized, we can make money off snake people by selling cocoa husk. So then they started making brick,
Yeah.
But Chris's product's way better. That's why I went with Chris instead. But I thought that was pretty cool how they were a hydroponic store
Yeah.
and now they sell snake
Well,
reptile substrate.
The hydroponic store I was going to, and I was finding it, hit and miss. I had a conversation with the manager or owner of that store, and I was telling him, I was like, "Are you bringing a pallet or 2 of this stuff? And it gets out that you have it in the reptile community, you're not going to have a problem moving it."
Well, after Daytona, I've already talked to Chris, and I'm going to see if we can purchase a couple of pallets and be a distributor here in Northwest Florida. I know that Patrick at North Florida Cold Blooded has done the same thing over in his area.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
I'll start doing that. I'm thinking about that, G-Paws, doing that like in Georgia shows and stuff like that, but I just haven't got around to doing it.
You have to do it that way, right? Because it costs you an arm and a leg to ship. So if you can get one big shipment into an area and G-Paw, you can sell the area and now you don't have to ship. You take a lot of the cost out of it for people. And so that's why I think a lot of these guys that have these, the substrates, they get people like yourself or like myself to buy it at just right about their cost or just above, and then sell it in that part of the country for them. It's the way to go because shipping.
Well, I think it's good because for the people, because if you can provide a good substrate at your show, at your table, even though you didn't make it, you're doing it for, you're basically a wholesaler for somebody else, whatever.
Right, and you're taking all the
somebody
shipping
else.
costs.
Yeah, exactly. You're helping the customer at the show get no shipping costs.
Right.
You're helping them. You can even lower the cost a few dollars or a little bit, however it works for you to be able to get them good substrate, and then you got a customer forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you don't. The thing is with stuff like that, a lot of people that buy wholesale substrate or hides or water dishes or whatever, they buy wholesale and then they try to mark it up. Instead of like way up. I get you're going to mark it up, but you can't mark it up 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like people, you can't basically double it. And if you are making a deal, my thing is if I get substrate cheaper than the next guy and I'm wanting to sell it to people, it's still going to be cheaper for me to get it because I'm getting it in bulk, right? So obviously it's cheaper, and I got the hookup essentially because I'm sponsored, so that's cheaper. So then if I can sell that product for cheaper, they're still buying cocoa. The cocoa distributor's still getting their money that they're happy with. So everybody's happy, and it's not nobody undercutting nobody or nothing like that. Everybody is happy, and that's a good way to be in this community. Is when you can find that niche like Chris did, where you can do cocoa and get that into a lot of different people's foods and get your name out there like that, dude. He is a genius for that.
Right.
Like that is awesome. Yeah,
Because
he did
once
great.
people are used to buying from you, they're used to buying from you. Now they don't have to get used to it anymore.
Well,
Right.
and
That's the real thing that keeps people kicking tires, right? They're thinking, I'm gonna buy something, but I'm gonna buy something from somebody that I feel like I can trust. Number one. And then once
Yeah.
they buy from you, they don't have to go through that anymore. So doing stuff like that, like a lot, I worked for drugstores when I was first in the workforce. We used to put like toilet paper 4-packs on sale for 99 cents, and we used to pay $1.05 for them. And I said, we're losing 6 cents every time we sell one. And the guy that had been around a little bit longer than me, an old dude, stood next to me and said, "Yeah, but we're just
they're
using
buying
that.
other stuff.
We're just trying to use that to get them in the door." And
And once they buy it, they'll be back next week to see if you
Right.
got the same deal, and they're going to buy the expensive one anyway because they're there.
Right. Once they come by because you give them a good deal, they're going to come by every week to see what good deal they can get, right? And so
Exactly.
you've got to get people used to buying from you, and that's in every market. And so those type of things, like Chris has done, maybe somebody's not going to buy a $300, $400, $500 snake, but maybe they'll buy a $25 block of cocoa or 20, whatever they cost now.
Yeah.
Right, but now that guy's is used to buying from Chris, so now he's past that part. So now you don't have to kick tires anymore. So you've just opened all the doors for that customer to do business with you, really.
Yeah, right.
And like I said, Chris is such a good guy. He said, the guy is like, I tell the story all the time. I asked the guy, I tell him I'm interested in picking up a certain species, and the first thing he does, rather than I'm an easy sell, if he just says, "Hey, you know what? They're great. Here's this, and I'll give you a deal." That's not what he said. He said, "No, I want you to understand some of the negative things about keeping these animals. It's not, like, what you're already keeping." Oh, okay, something to think about. But God darn it, I mean, that's the guy who's got a bunch of them for sale, and that's the breeder, and it'd just be real easy for him to take your money, right? No, he's going to tell you about what you need to know. And when he did that, the respect that I have for that man is top notch. He's top notch, top shelf all the way.
Yeah. Well, I'm going
he's awesome.
to jump into the subject for today, guys.
Let's go.
June the 24th in Grayson, Kentucky, at Grayson Lake. It was 11 or 12 people on a pontoon boat. Miss Marly Kinney, lost her life that day. Her, a bunch of other young people were out on the pontoon boat partying in the lake. Obviously, there was a lot of alcoholic beverages being partaken of. And in some manner, form, or fashion, the young lady went over the side of the boat to use the bathroom and was never seen again. And no one knew she didn't come back on the damn boat until they were almost back to shore, kind of thing. So that's kind of puzzling to me. That's one of the things I want to talk about is, and one of these people on the boat, at least one of them I know was an adult because she was a school teacher at my school district where I went to school at, okay? So there was at least one adult that should have knew better and been looking out a lot better for these kids. But can you grasp how 11 or 12 people on a boat and not one knew she didn't get back on the boat?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right to me. I mean, like I told you before, my entire last 35 years, I've coached youth or high school sports. The last 20 years, I've coached high school football, varsity level. So I'm coaching basically kids that are about her age. And just from my perspective, you just, and if you have adults on the boat, I know when I'm taking kids, I took a whole varsity football team to Las Vegas, New Mexico, and Nevada, 2 different trips. But Las Vegas, Nevada, I took 90 some kids on a varsity football trip over there to play Bishop Gorman. for the whole weekend. We had not one issue. But when you're an adult with kids, constantly what you're doing is head counting. You spend your entire time with them. You're counting heads. How many I got? Because your biggest fear when you're working with a group of kids is
losing one.
Somebody's going to get lost. And that's not going to happen on my watch. I'm not going to be the one on the news going, hey, this guy lost a kid. That ain't happening. So, yeah, but the thing is with kids that age is they think that they are indestructible. They think they're invincible. And you know, they haven't had enough life experience yet, coach, to figure, G-Paw to figure out that they're not indestructible.
And that's my question, John. And John, that was my question, because you said kids, but I didn't hear that. You kind of broke up on my end. But I heard alcohol and a pontoon boat, and then someone was missing. And I'm thinking, well, you know, I've been drunk before, and I could totally see, you know, if there's 11 or 12 adults out there. But you said kids, and like John said, if there's adults out there, you know, I drink around my kid, but I'm like, Coach, I'm not going to be that guy on the news. I'm looking around. My head's on a swivel the whole time, drunk or not, because I know that I got to look out for these kids. You know? I mean, we went to Daytona, or we went to Panama City a week or two ago with 3 kids, just 3. Yeah. And, you know, 12, 8, and 7. And, bro, I mean, I was on a swivel. They get out of my sight for 1 second. I am putting my shit down. I'm walking around. Where they at? Where they at?
You're constantly head counting. I got 1, I got 2, I got 3. Okay, I'm good.
Just like my old lady was talking about Home Alone, that movie, remember? Where they left Kevin at home, and she's like, well, how could they do that? You know, I'm head counting. I said, yeah, they did head count. The next door neighbor's kid was the head. Remember, because he stood there, but they did head count. So y'all leave his family alone, okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't get how someone can lose somebody. My thing is if somebody falls off a boat and you're leaving, they're yelling.
Yeah.
Right? They're, hey, stop the damn boat. I'm not on it, or whatever, you know? And then my thing is, if you fall off a boat and they leave and that don't happen, then there's something sus about that. Like maybe they weren't awake when they were put in that water, or maybe they were left on purpose, or, you know, there's something else. Because, I mean, you ain't just going to forget, drunk or not. You know, I've been drunker than Cooter Brown on the lake, and I ain't never left nobody out there before.
Well, and to be clear, these were a little older. They were 17, 18 years old. She was 18, which doesn't make a difference to me. They're still kids.
Well, I drink, and I ain't gonna be that guy. I do, you know, I drink around my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be responsible about it, obviously. But like, you know, I thought they were much younger. 17, 18. I mean, you know, they're there. They're partying, dude. You know, I mean, let's be real.
I mean, it's like,
but you know, not all chaperones or adults, if you want to call it that, are responsible. Because I can remember, and it may have been the same way where you guys grew up at, but in high school, we had a club called VICA, Vocational Industrial Clubs of America. And you would go to competitions in your trade, whether it be auto mechanics, machine shop, and have state competitions and national competitions to see who was the best. And I remember going to one of those competitions for machine shop. And we had what we would call today an Airbnb. Then it was just a big house that we all was at, right? Yeah. But the chaperones and our teachers who took us there, man, they bought Everclear and stuff. There was all kinds of stuff in that, and it was freely distributed. So not every chaperone is doing the right thing for the people they're with. I'll say that.
Duh.
But, you know, I'm looking at a pontoon boat, you know, we're saying 20, 25 foot long at the most, 10 feet wide. So you got 10, 11 people in 250 square foot, right?
Yeah.
I growed up on pontoons. How many people are allowed on a boat that size? Do you know?
No. I mean, they do have a weight limit, and it was probably too many people.
Well, I know on our pontoon boat, my dad wouldn't let no more than 8 people on it. because
Yeah.
that, back in the day, but that was Georgia. Damn, I'm upside down.
Yeah. Of course, this is Kentucky, so we all backwoods and shit. But
Hey, we used to ride in the back of pickup trucks too back in the day.
yeah,
So
I mean,
we still do that now. We still do that.
I bet y'all do.
we were on Tom Sawyer pontoon boats.
Got the long pole and.
But you think about it, that's not much bigger than this room I'm in right now.
No.
And if you got 10 or 12 people in here, and someone, my understanding is she went willingly into the water to use the bathroom, but it's impossible, in my opinion, that no one noticed that she got off, and no one noticed they left her there. Now a boat driver was arrested. He was not the one driving the boat when she went overboard or was left. This young man, when they got back to shore, recognized that she was gone and took the boat back to look for her, and was arrested for boating under the influence.
Yeah.
Damn, that sucks.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
No doubt. That sucks.
Well, you can't get in that position to start with, right? I mean, come on.
If you're driving a boat or you're in a boat and you're somewhat coherent, then you are responsible. Actually, technically, if you want to get technical about it, the captain of that boat is responsible for every head on it. Nobody else. There's not a soul on that boat that is responsible. I mean, yeah, you're all responsible for each other. You look out for each other's backs. But at the end of the day, when your ass gets back to shore, the son of a bitch that was driving that boat and in charge of that boat is responsible. That's how it works on like vessels. You know what I'm saying? So like the captain, he takes full responsibility for anything. So if that did happen, then whoever was driving needs to man up and be like, it was my fault. I'm sure they did arrest them kids because they were wasted.
Right. But they erased, they did book the young man who went back looking for her, and he was released the same day, kind of thing. But he's still going to face those charges regardless.
But look, accidents happen, and I'm not here to say, I've heard of people
trying to comprehend what happened.
Exactly, and I've heard of people hiking up on the side of mountains when I lived in Helen and Dahlonega and stuff in North Georgia, and they'd be with like a group of 12 or 11 or 10, you know what I'm saying? A good bit of people, and they'd lose somebody. Whether it's they fall off the side of a ditch and they keep going a little bit, maybe 50 foot down, and then no one can hear them yelling that from the, you know what I mean? Like, there are different things and scenarios. Like, it's weird, the thing, and it could have just totally been an accident. Hell, for all we know, or all they know, if they were that wasted, nobody was paying that much attention. She could have got back on the boat from using the bathroom, and they took off, and she fell off while they were going down the way. There's a lot of different variables to that.
Well, I'm thinking
when you get stuff like that, and you add alcohol and young people, and that's recipe for disaster. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Well, if someone saw her go overboard, or more than one person did, they're feeling pretty damn guilty about now. And somebody will speak sooner or later, for sure. If something like that happened and they knew it, or something was funny, too many people was on board for nobody to say anything, right?
Right. For all those people and everybody's, if everybody's story is basically the same, and they're like, yeah, nobody knew that she didn't get back on, that to me sounds fishy. I mean, if you go out on a boat with people, like 11 people, I'm not going to be out there, as a stranger. I know somebody on that boat. I came with somebody
to
do the boat ride. I didn't go
That's going to recognize that they haven't seen you in 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, friend.
Right.
Yeah.
So your buddy's going to be like, wait a minute, my guy just got off the boat. Don't leave because I came with that dude. He's my ride home or whatever.
Yeah, something.
You're not. Somebody's going to know exactly what happened because somebody was there specifically with her.
Well, somebody
probably showed up at the boat with her.
How old was the person that got lost?
18.
Um,
She was 18.
And see, that's the problem with
She just graduated high school, basically.
Yeah, and that's the problem with young people like.
But here's what I want to say is, to my understanding, they rented this boat there at Grayson Lake. So,
they rented the boat.
So if they rented the boat, whoever took them out and showed them the boat, introduced it, got it started. I mean, that's normally what happens. Saw all this alcohol and saw how many people were on the boat. Someone should have threw up a flag.
They don't have to have a boating license where they were at?
No, you can rent a boat and like a small boat.
Well, then, yeah, that is weird. That's a weird-ass situation. Then the whole captain thing goes out the window because
even here in
anybody
Florida,
with a driver's license can rent a damn boat and take people out and get wasted. That's the fucking problem. Excuse my language. That's the issue.
Yeah.
That is what the problem is. It's not the people forgetting her. It's that those people rented a boat to someone that had no business driving a boat or operating a boat.
It's the same way here in Florida. We can go out here to the bay and rent a pontoon boat. Anybody that's 18 or older can do it. You don't have to have a captain's license or anything else. It's just the nature of the business, I guess.
Well, that's Florida too. You guys out there do a bunch of stuff different than everybody else.
Well, yeah, but still, we're a little bit we got a lot of stipulations on a lot of things. We'll put it that way.
Driver's license and $2,000 what do you call it? Deposit will get you a pond.
Yeah, basically.
Credit card. You need a driver's license and a credit card. You come on down to Captain Bob's Shrimp House. We're right here on the marina. We'll get you fit in. We'll get you sit in. We'll get you a cooler of beer and a bag of shrimp, baby. Let's ride. Live music on Saturday night.
Basically here for 6 or 8 hours, it's like $500, and you got the boat.
They were out at night too, wasn't it? It was, from what I was reading.
I think it was in the afternoon when this happened.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know in Panama City with a driver's license, and it's a bunch of money, but you can rent jet skis out there on the ocean. Yeah. And they're like, don't go past the buoys. Yeah. And I'll see them people way out there, dude. And I'm like, what if something was to happen to them? Like, what? How does that work? How does the insurance policy really work in that situation? Like, would that family of the person, of the lost one, would they go after the rest or whoever rented the boat, or would they go after their insurance company, or they go after the person driving the boat, operate? Like, how does that even work? You know what I mean?
Or do they go after the person that rented them the boat, right? Because really, if you go right back to it, what is the root of the problem? It's probably the boat should have never been rented to these folks.
I agree with that.
And I agree with what John says here. Ultimately, the teacher is 100% at fault as an adult in the situation. Accountability is a bitch, and we are way short on that in this world.
Yes, sir.
Accountability would fix 99% of our problems, and that's 100% true. Now, even though this was not a school outing, she's still that figure. She still has that.
You're supposed to be the adult.
Yep, and but that can go both ways, right? Because we're talking about an 18-year-old. She might have just graduated, but we know how mature these kids are nowadays. Okay. And she should have had the whereabouts if she was drinking to say, no, I'm not old enough. I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? It's to me, it seems like everybody on the boat is in the wrong in some way.
Yeah. They all have some culpability, definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were a lot of distractions going on. I mean, like I say, it's obvious there were alcohol on the boat. Now, was there other substances on the boat? I don't know. But I'm sure they probably had music blaring and they were swimming and people doing, horse playing and shit, all kinds of things going on. I mean, think about it.
I know. I know that's exactly what was happening. Because that's what everybody
nobody paid attention at all. Nobody paid. Yeah. But everybody knows she went off the boat on her own will to go to the bathroom. Everybody knows that part of the story.
If that story is everybody's story and they all say that, I remember, because there would be people that were like, hell, I didn't know she went to take a poop or a pee or whatever. I didn't know that. I was drinking, I was partying, listening to music on the other side. I was 15 a foot on the other side of the boat, bro, like that would be more. I would understand. I would think that would be more. That would make more sense. But if everybody's like, no, yeah, I totally remember her at this time or around this time, she got off the boat to use the bathroom, and the next thing I know, yeah, she's just not there anymore, and we're
Right.
at the shore. You know, like, shut up. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
After working with those kids, those age kids, it's like you're going to get part of the story. You got to keep working. I mean, and I think right here we have part of the story is the
Well,
problem.
and they're still investigating it, and like I say, as time goes on, somebody's going to talk to somebody. You know, they can't help it. It's human nature. People tell on themselves all the time because they can't handle the guilt, right?
So
So
I'm
they're
trying
going
to give people the benefit of the doubt. So I'm trying to lean on that it was an
Yeah.
accident, and maybe she announced it to the boat. She got up there on the pedestal and said, "I'm taking a piss."
could have been.
Hell, and everybody knew it. I'm hoping that something like that happened, you know, but you never know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I have 2 daughters that I've raised through that age, and girls aren't really big on standing up and saying, "Hey, everybody."
My
I'm gonna
daughter
go take a
would.
pee."
Well, see, I have a daughter that will fart on you, bro. So I
Yeah,
mean, you know, I don't know.
I mean, I have a daughter that will do it around me, but you know, she's out there with her friends. She's probably going to be like, "Yeah."
Well, I
I'm gonna
just thought of something, and maybe it's ridiculous, but
That's true.
most of the time, they want somebody to go to the bathroom with them, regardless
Right.
of what they're
That's
doing.
true too. Yeah,
Right. Great point. They usually go
that
in
is a
groups.
good point. Never thought about it. Yeah, but it'd be kind of weird to ask your girlfriend, "Hey, come sit in this big giant bathtub with me, and while I take a piss and stand right next to me."
Right. And your friends and she's standing there going, "Oh yeah, it's warm."
And just to iterate the accident kind of thing, growing up in that area, you know, in the mountains across the river in West Virginia, you know, in the summer there'd be a lot of forest fires and it would consume thousands of acres a lot of times. Well, we had a club in the high school that we would go fight these forest fires. They would come get us. If something break out, they would come get us. We would, you know, we were trained, of course, beforehand.
What did they call that? I forget what they called that. It was volunteer firemen for the most part, but it was called something for wildfire specific.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact, but I remember the state of West Virginia paid us like $1.15 an hour.
Yeah.
But
you still got it in the bank, don't you, G-Paw?
We would get
back
out.
then in 1956, G-Paw, that was a lot of money. You know?
Yeah. So what would happen is there'd be an active fire and they would need help and they would come get us from school, you know, someone from that fire department or that state agency. So we may leave school on Tuesday at 1:00 and not go back for a week because we would be there, okay? But in one of the instances, me and another young man who were kind of like senior firemen or whatever you want to call, whatever we were called, that's been so long ago, we were sent to set backfires to burn the fuel away from the fire so it wouldn't jump, right?
Right.
And we have been through this a million times about pine thickets and how it's like gasoline in a pine thicket.
Yeah.
And we were setting these fires and something happened with him because he went down one ridge and I took the other one. And I don't know if he fell, he got confused, but he got burnt up in a pine thicket. Now thinking about it now, we should have went 2 by 2. But hindsight's always 20/20.
Bro, yeah.
And we were doing what we were taught and what we were told. But, you know, accidents could happen and it could have very well be an accident. It's just highly sus to me, personally.
With that many people there's somebody that knows exactly what happened. There's somebody in that group knows exactly what happened.
They searched for her for 4 days and found her body on the 28th.
The 20th day?
The 28th, 4 days later.
Oh, okay. So is this lake? Is it a lake or a river?
It's a lake. It's a large lake.
Is it very like active? Because I imagine on the during that time, it's close to the 4th of July. There would be a lot of people, you know, going back and forth from the lake. So you figure somebody would have seen something.
It is a large lake with a large marina. It wasn't so much of such a large marina when I grew up, but now it's a happening place. They got lodges and like cabins they rent and all kinds of stuff, things there. and it's got some very deep spots. I mean, it's got a lot of like rock wall cliffs kind of thing
Okay.
that you
See,
know go down.
I'm like you. I've always did 2x2, 2 to 2. You know, like when we used to go camping on the Alabama River, there's big ass alligators out there, man, and that's no joke. Like I'm not even playing when I say it. It's like Florida on the Alabama River, and if you sleep out there on that river at night, we would kayak down it. You can go from Montgomery, Alabama, all the way to the ocean
Yeah,
on
all the way
Alabama.
down.
We get on the Warrior or the Coosa and get to the Alabama, and then float as far as we could on kayaks, drink beer, you know, party. Kind of the same situation, just on kayaks. And we would be out there and we'd be camping, and there'd be alligators and all kind of stuff out there. So if I went to go take a pee in the middle of the night, my buddy's going with me.
Yeah.
You know, like, because I've like you said, you know, like you live and learn, right? Hindsight's always 20/20, and the faster people can learn that it's always better to have somebody on your back than not. Because there's so many people in this world that's independent. I'm independent.
Right.
Yeah. Screw independence.
Not out here,
I don't want to be independent no more. That sucks.
Right.
I like
You
having
can be
somebody to have
independent
my
when we're
back.
back at home, but when we're out here in the wilderness, we're going 2x2.
Yeah.
And, you know, I took the kids to Las Vegas, Nevada, and we're staying. We are actually staying in the hotel that O.J. Simpson finally got arrested and sent to prison about him. And there was like a placard on the door where it happened and everything. It was
Did the placard say the glove didn't fit?
Yeah, no, it wasn't even. Basically, the reason he went to jail is because he went into somebody's hotel room and stole back his like memorabilia stuff that you know.
Yeah.
I had bought.
Not talking about I know what you're talking about.
This was after this was after the Nicole murder. And all
Oh yeah, way after that. And so so we went and stayed in that hotel. But you're like I said, you're head counting all the time. You're telling the kids, hey, if you go anywhere, you got a buddy. You know, we don't go anywhere by yourself. And so when you're an adult with a bunch of kids, you're a head count guy. You got to make sure that those kids come back the way they left.
Well, I feel like that regardless of the situation, whether you're on a boat, you're on a field trip to a mall or whatever, there should be one or more persons assigned as accountability to keep track, make sure everybody, like you said, Coach, you're counting kids, that you're seeing what's going on. That way you...
Yeah, but you got to think, if you have 20 kids and you got one, nobody's going to want that position. Nobody's volunteering for that because it has to be a team effort, right? Like when you become an adult, you know me, like I used to live a crazy life, G-Paws. You know, like I was wild as hell. And I had a kid, and it changes you because you have to be responsible.
Right.
And but you know, like me, if I'm going somewhere and I want to take a cooler of beer and there's kids around, I make sure that somebody like there's at least, but we ain't got 20 kids, but I'm saying like 3 kids, one person's fine. But the more that's why I don't even volunteer to do shit like that. Like I don't coach nothing. I don't do no volunteering for no field trips overnight. I don't do that because I am not being responsible for somebody else's kids. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not me personally.
It's a big responsibility. It really is.
It is, but you know, at the same time, there may have been more adults on that boat than one. I know there was one. Okay.
Well, those kids were all 18, 19 years old, and I'm here to tell you from working with those kids, when they get to about that age, they're thinking they've arrived.
You can't tell them nothing.
Tell me shit. Yeah, don't tell me. I'm sorry. Don't tell me a darn thing. And that's just how they are. I mean, remember when you got there? When I got there, I was the same way. I thought I was an adult now. I don't need to listen to you, but
I was pretty mature because I wasn't allowed to be a kid.
Right.
You know, but you're right. I mean, I had some buddies who were buck ass wild for sure. You know,
I was that way. I was like, what? You can't tell me what to do. I'm freaking 18, you know. But I moved out when I was 16. I was that way at 16. I just moved out and worked and said, screw it, you know. But, you know, you have to be responsible. At the end of the day, everybody, I think that my take from it, and what I think people should take from it, is everybody needs to be responsible for themselves. You have to make sure if you're going into the wilderness that you're asking somebody to go with you. You have to know if you're getting off a boat, hey, take the key out. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I'm getting out of in the water. You know what I mean? Don't freaking leave me. And learn how to swim. I mean,
Yeah.
in all reality, I don't know. I just feel like everybody, but I'm like that, you know. I think that everybody makes their own mistakes, and that in a situation as this, yeah, people should have been looking out. I would have been looking out. We all would have. Most people in the chat, I'm sure, would. But at the same time, are you really responsible for doing that? Or are they responsible for looking out in a sense for themselves? Like, I don't know. I don't, I'm talking about like a broader spectrum of thing, I guess, not this specific situation
Yeah,
because I
you're right.
don't know the specific, you see what I'm saying? But I just think that I've grown up to where you have to take responsibility for your own actions, you know. I used to ride motorcycles, right? Harleys. I lived that. I was that guy. I would ride wheelies, stand on the seat going down the interstate, do stupid stuff. And my dad would always, he would never tell me, he would say, you know, that's dangerous, but you'll find out one day. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like you can't let it get to you if something happens because you said something, you spoke your piece, whatever.
I agree with the comment that's up there right now.
Oh yeah.
I've always believed that in this country, you're 18 years old, you're old enough to take a bullet for your country, but you can't buy a beer. Come on, man.
Yeah.
If I'm old enough to take a bullet for my country, I should be old enough to decide whether I want a beer or not.
Well, I understand that you got to have age limits and you got to set a standard somewhere, correct? But all 18-year-olds aren't the same. All
Right.
21-year-olds are not the same.
Right.
And unfortunately, you can't discriminate from person to person, right? But maybe if there was a way, we could. But going back to what John said before, and in your case, Coach, still there was a teacher there, and this is a person who automatically takes a fiduciary responsibility upon themselves.
I mean, if you're going to put yourself like he's saying, if you're going to put yourself in that position, then, we wouldn't have put ourselves in that position, it sounds like. I wouldn't have been like, I'm going to be the only adult.
And I'm going to let everybody drink and do stupid stuff, you know, underage kids. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they put themselves in the position. You're absolutely right, Coach.
Right.
I mean,
and so
the fact is, if I hold a party here at my house and have alcohol, regardless of who brought it, and allow minors to partake of it, because in Kentucky, 21 is the drinking age.
Right.
I can get charged for contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
And you remember G-Paws when we were young, when we were that age? There were some states that you could buy alcohol when you were 18. Now it's a federal, law. You got to be 21. But when I was that age, each state made their own rule. So, like in Hawaii, you could buy alcohol at 18. That's why everybody in their high school, out here, your senior year, you wanted to go to Hawaii for your senior trip because you could go get slobber knockered out there.
When I grew up there, it was the counties were dry.
Okay.
You couldn't buy alcohol. But you go right across the Ohio River to Ironton, Ohio at 18 and buy anything you wanted.
Right. See, it's a different time.
And most of it, a few of us were, 6'4", 6'5", 300 pounds. Nobody thought we were 18 years old.
Right.
We were really like 16 or 17, and they thought we were 20 a lot of times.
Yeah.
They would sell us whatever we wanted to.
Right.
They weren't, at least in our day, they weren't real concerned about those kind of things.
Bro, I had a beard at like 16, 17, and I was walking in buying King Cobras and Colt 45s at the local. But I grew up in Butts County, Georgia. You know what I mean? Like DFE. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nowhere. They don't give a damn. The sheriff will give you a beer. You don't care.
Yeah.
It don't, I don't know. You can't assert yourself into a situation like this and expect something bad to happen and think that no one's going to point the finger at you.
Especially if
that's
you're the
why
only on the boat.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that's why I think we wouldn't put ourselves in that position, right? I'm not going on a boat with 10 kids, right? I'm be like, okay, we need another adult. Yeah, we need another adult here. Or I'm saying I'm not going with you because I don't want to have that responsibility with me and 10 of you. That's not going to work for me.
Well, my thing is why did they go out there?
I think they just went out on the water to party and have a good
So
time.
okay,
Also,
so
I
a
guess.
teacher, you're saying at least one teacher, he was a teacher, takes a bunch of high school kids out on a boat that just graduated
Yeah,
with
you
beer and
pretty
stuff.
much
That
understand
sounds
it.
weird.
That was my question: is why the hell was she there to begin with?
That
Right.
sounds weird.
That's my question. Why the hell was she there to begin with?
But in reality, the same thing could have happened if she wasn't there because they were 18. They could have rented the damn boat anyway.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know, so and I'm here to say at 18 in my household, when I was growing up, you are a freaking adult,
Right.
and you better believe that if something happens, you ain't going to be tried as no child. That's why I stopped getting in fist fights around that time, for the most part, because I knew I could go to jail,
Right.
be charged as an adult.
The repercussions change a little bit.
Yeah.
The wife asked, was one of the adults a parent of one of them? I don't believe so. At least a lot of the facts are pretty tight-lipped right now because it's still under investigation. And it's obvious that they've got an angle or something because they haven't released the exact timeline, whether they don't know the timeline or they're still trying to get to the bottom of this. There's not been anything really released since they found her, other than they found her and it is her as far as facts and things go.
Right.
So I mean,
they're still under investigation too, so they're going to keep some stuff to the vest, and it'll come out though. I guarantee you that this year we're going to hear more about this and really kind of what the story was and what actually happened are probably going to be a little bit different.
Well, here's one of the things that I thought of too is apparently she voluntarily went overboard to use the bathroom, and I get that. Nothing wrong with that. Big lake.
Right.
And they left. Apparently she was not on the boat. And it's a big lake. I mean, they could have been 30, 45 hour away from the marina, okay? But apparently it was pretty close to the marina when they realized she wasn't there. That just, to me, it just makes it even more mind-boggling that for this 30, 45 minutes or whatever, hey, they're friends. I mean, they're all friends, okay? They all have a vested interest in each other. They're friends. They have a friendship going on. Even if I'm messed up, maybe I've never been messed up that bad. I don't know. In that time frame, someone had to realize that she wasn't there. Were they afraid to say, hey, where's Marly at? Or, what was going on in their heads? I don't know.
And these are young people too, so you could have had a lot of the kids on the boat that, hey, I have to be home by such and such a time too. So it sounds fishy to me that they realized, and G-Pod, correct me if I'm mistaken here, but they realized just before they're getting to the marina that she's not there. Do they continue to the marina and drop all the other people off, then turn around and go look for her, or do they turn around and look for her as soon as they realize?
They went back to the marina. The guy who was driving the boat and everyone else, in my understanding, departed. The young man who got arrested for driving the boat under influence took the boat back because he realized, or they did, I think he realized she was missing.
Okay.
And he took the boat back to look for her.
So they got all the way back to the marina,
Yeah.
got out of the boat, and then said, okay, we're missing a person.
Yeah.
Man, that's horrible.
And I hope man, I'm not saying driving a boat or any vehicle under influence is a good thing, but this young man was trying to do the damn right thing.
Right.
So I hope
I'll tell you, in Alabama and Georgia, in Florida, most places, if you are on a boat in a lake and you get caught by fishing game or the marine police or anybody out there, and you are drinking, even if you're not driving, they will give you shit about it. Like some places where you fish or ride boats and jet skis and stuff, they don't even they don't allow for or beer to be on the boat at all, or alcohol, like at all. And if you get caught with it, they will, like, it's been known in Alabama, they'll take your license and everything, you know.
Well, and one thing we haven't discussed is a simple life jacket would have prevented this problem.
Right.
He wasn't wearing a life jacket?
I'm sure she wasn't.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Wouldn't it would have been a whole lot easier. It wouldn't have taken 4 days to find her if she was. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's why, I guess that's why I thought it was weird that it took so long to find her, because in my head, I'm thinking she was wearing a life jacket. I don't know.
I'm assuming she wasn't, because normally my understanding is if you drown, your body will sink to the bottom for a number of days. Then your body starts deteriorating, gas builds up, and it floats you back. So that was probably why they didn't find her till the 4th day.
Yeah.
Right. And most life jackets that I've seen, they're kind of a bright color, right? So
Yeah.
if you're floating around in a life jacket in the lake, it's like, oh, there she is right there. I mean,
that's why I was wondering. That's exactly why. I guess I was under the assumption, but that was stupid of me to think that, because my 7-year-old daughter don't wear no damn life jacket, not deep in the ocean or anywhere. But, you know, I'm right there with her, in the water with her. But, like...
And you're not going to be dumping on your ass either.
Right.
Well, I ain't going nowhere without my baby. You can believe that.
And so
that's my baby.
So
you got to think about today's time and things. Every year we hear shit about somebody set their kid on top of the car in the car seat and got back in the car and forgot they were up there and takes off.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't get that shit at all, because I have always been hyper vigilant, especially with my kids.
Well, here, our problem isn't leaving the parents leaving the kid on top of the car. The problem is leaving the kid in the car. And then they go in the house, forget the kid's still in the car. And, you know, an hour and a half later, they go, oh, crap. And now the kid's dead because it's 140 degrees in that car when it's 115 degrees outside.
And then someone will make a YouTube video about it from the police body cam. I watch those all the time. It's so sad. But yeah, it's very prevalent, what Coach said. Like, you wouldn't think that people are leaving their kids in the car, but they do that all the time, dude.
I mean, it's so much so now that you buy a car here, a new car, if you've got a car seat in the back seat or anything weight in the back seat, it'll ask you or tell you to check and make sure that, you know, you got whatever you came with.
Yeah, but you're out we don't have all those fancy things, man.
Right.
But my thing is just common sense. You know, I mean, come on.
My oldest kid is 40. We didn't have nothing like that. I mean, when he was a baby, you had to just remember to take his ass in the house. I mean, come on.
Hey, I remember.
You took a kid with you, you got to bring a kid back with you, right? I mean,
I think it was a Ford Galaxy my parents had back in the 60s, and it had like the gear shift in the floor.
Yeah.
And I can remember not being in a car seat, of course, not being in a seatbelt, and us going down the interstate about 65 miles an hour and reaching and grabbing the damn gear shift and throwing it in reverse.
Yeah.
Once.
My dad drove a Chevy. My dad drove a Chevy. I think it was either an Impala, you know, the old school, the big ones, like probably right around the end of the 60s.
Like the 63 Impala.
You remember they had the bench seats in the front, right?
G-Paws?
Yeah. And I'd stand there in the middle on the bench seat, standing on the seat, and my dad, I'd stand right behind his shoulder, and he'd drive down the street, and I'm standing there next to him.
Yeah.
Shit, if he hit something, I would be like a human projectile.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you didn't think, you know, it was a different time, and, you know, people didn't leave their kids in the car. I mean.
Well, let's end it like this. If you were the boat owner or the marina that's renting these out, I personally have the responsibility to make sure there's however many life jackets are on that people on that board. And if you're going on the boat and I'm renting it to you, I have a fiduciary responsibility as well. I'm going to make sure that at least when you're in my site, everybody's put these on before you take off. Yep. And things like that. Now, did they take them off when they got out there? Who knows? You know, who knows? But I think the teacher has some responsibility here. Everyone on that boat had a responsibility, don't get me wrong, but the people, the marina themselves should should be being investigated. Their process, the method, how they go about this should be investigated and revamped 100%.
Right. I mean, I know when I've rented a boat, when, in my life, and I know when I've done it in the past. You're right. They're making sure you got 3 people. Here's 3 life jackets and all that. But then before you even leave the marina, it's kind of like before you fly, the stewardess comes out and shows you how to use a seatbelt and tells you about the thing dropping from there's some sort of safety meeting that happens with the people who rent it to you before you shove off from the dock. They're going to show you, like, this is acceleration, this is, how it works. There had to be something like that, I gotta believe. And I agree with you that rental place, they've got some culpability here. You're responsible for that boat and who you're renting it to and how they're using it.
Well, I mean, even here, here's one of the things I compare it to, and I know a gun range and a boat's different, but you can't go to our local gun range, even if you have a concealed weapon permit, without going through their little safety thing at least once.
Right.
You can do it. I mean, you can do it online and breeze through it, or you can do it there in person. But at least, those kind of things are going on. And
they're going to have it documented that you went through this safety protocol. And then once you come through it, then you're fine.
And
but
maybe
you've
they
been through the protocol.
And maybe they did, and they probably had some 17 or 18-year-old kid working the dock, going out there and showing them, which probably was not a good idea.
Right.
I think in that situation, you should have a mature adult that has a level of responsibility, because myself, if it would have been me, of course, we would have done all those kind of things. And when I saw all the alcohol, I would have questioned it highly and probably went back to my boss or whoever and said, I don't know, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
There's one over 21 person, they might have been 2, I don't know. And the rest of them are adults, and they got this shitload of alcohol. Yeah. So this is not going to be a good thing.
Yeah, not on the up and up, probably.
Well, see, I'm on the other end of the spectrum, I think. Now hearing everything and knowing that the rules to being able to rent a boat, I think that it's just like, okay, it's just like anything else, man. If you go rent a car and you run it into a crowd of people and there's casualties, is the rental company really at fault?
No.
No, because at the end of the day, that person signs a contract with that rental company for whatever vessel they're getting. And it states in the contract, I'm sure, this is at your own risk. You are signing that you understand all of the rules and regulations and safety procedures, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand. To me, it's the oldest. It would be, it's just hard because they're all of age. Like, it seems like they're 18 and stuff like that. And to me, I think you should hold accountability for yourself, man. If you can't handle you're out there drinking, don't drink. If you're an adult and they're all underage, don't bring alcohol on the boat. So at the end of the day, if I had to blame somebody, I would want the accountability to fall on the adult that was on the boat.
Yeah.
Or whoever signed the rental agreement. Who signed the rental agreement? That's who is.
I don't know.
I would imagine if it, whoever took that responsibility. That's exactly right.
And the only thing I got to say about the car rental thing is, Nick, to my knowledge, and I might be wrong, you have to be at least 25 years old to rent a car.
Yeah, just
about. Yeah, but there's crazy ass 25-year-olds out there, and if they did that, I'm saying, would you blame the rental car company?
No.
You're right. Right.
I wouldn't. Because
when you get to be 25, you're old enough, you should know better, goddamn it.
You should know better, and that's when that self-accountability falls into play, right?
And I think you bring up a great point, because I think there's too many people in this world that want to point fingers at everybody else. But you're right. At some point, you got to say, hey, you got to take some sort of personal responsibility for yourself here. Right?
Well, I think John got it right. I think John has it right here. Responsibility lies with the adult on the boat, not the manufacturer, lease, or anyone else. They were the ones there and present.
Yeah,
I agree, Mitch, 100%.
Yeah. He's a pretty smart guy for a Texan.
Yeah, for Texas ball.
Hell, I jumped on here thinking that we were backstage and you needed help with something on StreamYard, and then it's live action, baby. And we going.
Yeah, but you always got my back, man.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, I'll be there, even if it's on my
Gosh.
cell phone.
God love you.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and end it here, guys, and I appreciate you jumping on. Nick, you're the new guy on this show, so anybody you want to shout out or anything you want to part with?
I want to shout out Coach and G-Paw, man.
Yeah.
And having me on, like I said, I really didn't even know what I was doing. I just popped on, and here we are. And I appreciate everybody in the comments. Y'all are awesome. And all the support for the RWO is awesome, and we love it. So thank all of y'all for that.
For sure. How about you, Coach?
I just want to say, I'm still making videos for my YouTube channel and trying to grow my channel. Hey, I'm trying to get sponsors like G-Paw, for God's sakes. I'm just a noob, and I'm not very technically inclined. And like I said, if you see anything on here that looks even kind of good, G-Paw did it, not me. I'm not talented that way, but I am trying to do a YouTube channel, and I would appreciate everybody's support. It's that Coach's Royal Reptiles.
And go to YouTube, Coach's Royal Reptiles, and follow Coach, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so when he's on, you'll know it.
There you go.
I appreciate you, both of you guys. You've always supported me and been there, and I try to support. I support the RWO and everything they do. I try to join in every week, and I appreciate them as well. And I guess
we'll have to get Coach on one night. He's well spoken.
I need to participate in watching that. I'm RWO. I'm searching that as soon as I'm done here.
RWO broadcast.
What's that?
It's RWO broadcast channel.
All right. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, Thursday nights.
All right, I'm there.
And then on Saturday, Nick, what is it? Huh?
Saturday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time is the Sipping with Serpent show.
So what they do there, Coach, is they get on there and, of course, shoot the shit, show snakes. They highlight people, have open panels, the whole 9 yards. But if you cheers or take a drink or whatever, they got to do it with you.
Nice.
Yeah, they get me kind of drunk, but I'm not driving any boats, and I'm not responsible for any kids.
Yeah. As long as you don't start up the snake room and drive off, we're going to be okay.
If he crashes the computer, it's not a big deal. Well, my prayers and positive thoughts go out for that family, and even the people on the boat. This has got to be a great mental anguish, a lot of pressure and trauma, and on them. It's not something I'd want to experience. So my heart goes out to everybody for sure. It's a horrible situation, and I just hope that everyone thinks about these kind of things and learns something from it. If you got kids that age, this is something to think about. You can't make them, you can't hold their hands 24/7, but you can do a lot more than be their friend. You can be their parent.
Do all you can do.
Yeah. And everyone in the chat, man, this is only our second show with the Forge Perspective, and this many people in the comments and things is awesome. I appreciate y'all. Hey, and go follow this guy right here. He's one of our local people here in Pensacola. They bought some snakes from me, and they buy rodents from me and things like that. We want to help them get some rodents going for them. Very good people. Appreciate them a lot. Thank you, David and Bridget, for jumping in here today.
Do they have venomous stuff, G-Paw?
No, it's just they were looking for a name for the reptile part of it.
Yes.
And we were here in my snake room talking about it, and I looked up, and he has venom tattooed on his arm.
Yeah.
I said, Venom Exotics or Exoticas would sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I made this logo up for him and sent it to him, kind of like Coach is going to be in Tinley in 2027.
Yeah.
So
I dropped that in yesterday. I was like, I want to get a banner made, and I can't do it. So I just started poking G-Paw. Hey, I want to do a banner for this thing. And I showed him what I did in my text. And as soon as a couple minutes later, I've got the banner. I'm like, thank you, G-Paw. I knew you could take a hint.
Yeah. Any way I
Love
can
you,
help.
brother. I love you, brother. I appreciate you so much.
Oh, and don't forget, 15 minutes a lane. Vote 666 Serpents.
All
Or I'll
right.
slay for you.
All
Hey,
right.
vote for Slim Shady. I don't know if you've seen it, Coach. On my channel, I made a couple of videos up of Slim Shady and put his picture in it and things like that. It's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
I'm going to tell you what.
Very
I'm going to
fun.
tell you the same thing I tell my cousin, who has a nice full gray beard like you. My beard is, when I grow a full beard, it is the ugliest thing in the world. But yeah, I'm going to tell you what. This Christmas, G-Paw,
It looks
you
like my
better
two-faced, you know.
you better go play Santa Claus for some of these kids, man, and give them
He
a
is
thrill.
Santa.
Damn straight he is.
know? Hey, I'm going to the mall and get all these 20-something-year-old, the wife listening, 20-something-year-old sitting in my lap and having a good time.
Yeah.
Mama, he didn't mean it, Mama. He didn't mean it.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Hey, she knows. Unfortunately, I'm just a harmless old feather, but
You're a good man, G-Paw. That's the thing. Just be a good person, baby. And you've got that conquered. So just keep doing that.
I certainly try. I appreciate everybody. Love everybody in the comments. Love you two guys. Coco to go. BNF Reptilia. Look them up. Got fine animals. Got great substrate. They even have a hemp substrate. I don't know the name of it right now.
Yeah.
Look at Nick. He's packing.
Right. And Chris couldn't be a better guy, man. If you couldn't go, I mean, if you want to support people in the hobby that are good people, you need to go and talk to Chris and get something from that guy. He's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Peace out. We'll see you Sunday, 2 p.m. Central Time, Behind the Scales with Chris Herman.
I'll be in the chat.
All right, bud.
All right, brother.